Hi, it's Catherine Allen from Altering Physiotherapy, and this video is going to take you through some much harder exercises as you progress through your rehabilitation with your ankle and back towards normal function and sports. So in the last video we did some double heel raises and some heel raises with your foot either on a block or a book. Now you can progress the double heel raises onto your bottom step at home. Make sure it is your bottom step, not your top step, or an exercise step like this. Again, you've got the front part of your feet onto the step, but here you don't have any support through the heel, so we've got a lot more loading. I've got a bar to hold on to, but you could use your banister or the side of the wall there. And what you're going to again do is you can do double, as we were doing before, coming onto the toes and then letting those heels sink down. But I am feeling much more of a stretch here because obviously I've got my body weight loading and we're going into a greater range of that dorsiflexion. I've still though got the other foot to help me out here, so I haven't got all of that pressure going through just my injured foot at the moment. But again, it's a great way to progress that control of those muscles around the ankle and also that range of movement. Okay, so double heel raises, we've progressed on to using the step nice and slowly as you drop down into that dorsiflexion position, and then equally as you come up. Maybe 5, 10 of those, but increase as you're able to. We also then need to get this injured leg working a little bit more on its own. So onto the floor again to start off with. We've been practicing our balance on our wobble cushion. You can practice your balance on the single leg. First of all onto the floor, then maybe onto your wobble cushion or towel. You could also practice trying to close your eyes or having a ball and throwing a ball against the wall, so you've got to have a little bit more side-to-side movement in that single leg stance. We also then need to get these muscles working that help to push us onto our toes, particularly if we're hoping to return to any sort of accelerating running type exercise at all there. So again, you can use something for a little bit of balance to start off with if you need to, but starting to see whether we could again do that single heel raise now. So pushing up, pushing through the big toe to peel up and then smoothly control as we come back and down. Really loading and getting those muscles over the bottom part of the back of the leg working. We can again employ the step to increase this work a little more. We might want to do a little bit of walking side to side, letting one heel go down, the other leg come onto the toes. Lovely circulation, really nice stretch. And then again, as we did on the floor, you could see if you could do your single heel raises here. Make sure you have got something to steady yourself on and that you do feel that your front of your foot is securely onto the step. You don't want it to just be your toes, okay? So getting much harder there as we go through those variations. Again, we're making sure that we are doing the calf stretches I did in the previous video. But we also maybe want to start making things a little bit more dynamic, so we can practice doing some stepping. So if you flat onto the floor, imagine you've got 2 points on the floor in front of you, and you're going to step forwards with one foot to that point and then back. And we can alternate that side to side. Although we're rehabilitating one ankle, we do want to make sure that we've got that normal reciprocal movements side to side there. You could practice this going forwards, but then you could also get yourself to start practicing maybe going forwards and then out to the side at about 45 degrees, maybe back behind you, so that you're getting used to that foot placement. We can also use some lunges to help. So first of all, maybe a static lunge where you've got one foot forwards, the other foot behind, hips and shoulders facing in the same direction, and we're going to soften at the hips and knees to sink down into that lunge. We're going to repeat though with these, first of all, with these feet set. So we're not stepping forwards and backwards, so we've got the stability of having that foot set and still. And we're starting to employ more of the big muscles through the chain of that lower limb. As you sink down, wanting to make sure that the front foot, that ankle doesn't go beyond 90 degrees. So it's important to do that both ways round, with the front foot forwards and the front foot behind, getting used to being able to control onto the toes there. Maybe repeating sets of 10 of those. We can make this much harder again though, by starting to do that alternating just as we did the stepping. So stepping forwards, dropping into a lunge, lifting up and back. Stepping forwards, dropping into a lunge, lifting up and back. So again, we've got that foot placement as well as the mobility and the work of the muscles through that chain. Making it harder again, we make it much quicker. So you step forwards and spring back. So there isn't as much time to come up. We've got that much more explosive work of those muscles through the legs. Again, getting that a little bit harder. We can take that on again to a moving exercise. So instead of just alternating side to side, we can step and move forwards, trying to spring as far as we can and maybe coming back as we come back to a start position. And you could do that a couple of times forwards or increase as you're able, but give some of those a go to see how you get on.